Did you know that in 1936, that was the year that sunscreen was invented? It's also the year that the Hoover Dam was completed, and the average price of a house was only $3,900. But you know what else happened in 1936? It was the release of one of my absolute all-time favorite books, How to Win Friends and Influence People by Dale Carnegie. There's so many great things about this book, but what I was realizing as I was preparing for this video, that one of the things I love about reading How to Win Friends and Influence People in January is that it really brings my focus back onto how I'm communicating, uplifting, and encouraging those people that are around me. Sometimes as I go through that process of goal setting and planning and prioritizing, I can get really focused on myself. But the reality is that God's purpose for our life is always done through people, and it's going to be done through all of us. And a lot of the times it's through us working and connecting with other people together to be able to move his purpose forward. Dale Carnegie starts out this book with a beautiful section titled The 9 Ways to Get the Most Out of This Book. Right away, he wants you to win. You know, he's not just giving you information for the sake of giving you information. He wants us to have information that we can take and apply and actually get the most out of it. And his first point is that in order to get the most out of this book, you have to have a deep, driving desire to learn, and also a desire to learn to be able to connect better with people, the people that are in our lives. You know, having a driving desire to learn is going to allow us to expand our perspective. It's going to allow us to move into new areas. It's allow God to be able to work in our lives. You know, if I can grow, then I can grow and uplift and encourage other people to grow. And that's what, you know, attracts people when we're learning and growing, and we're able to connect with people better. I'm not sure if you've taken the time already to do some goal setting for this year or working on your identity. You know, I talked in the last couple of videos about, I believe that 2022 is about so much more than what you can accomplish. I believe that 2022 is about who you can become. And when you have that gap between where I am today and where I'd like to be 12 months from now, what that really means is that we get the opportunity to change. We get the opportunity to make small changes, tiny steps in the right direction towards that identity. And in doing that, we need to be willing to learn. We also need to be willing to unlearn and admit areas in our lives where maybe we thought we believed something to be true, but now we have to make a change in it. We know more information. So now I've got to shift my perspective. But as we take these sort of steps of learning, I think, you know, reading a book like this can really open us up to some of the areas where maybe I've been falling down in the past, especially when it comes to connecting with people. And I find this book does that for me. It helps to expose me to the areas of my life where I need to work on, where I need to get better. And it does this year after year after year after year. Another reason why we want to dive in and look at, you know, our ability to connect with people is a lot of the different stressors in our life can come from a lack of ability to communicate. And I know this because communication in so many different areas of my life is not a strength. It's not something that I have a natural ability in. So if I can recognize that if I've got stress and it's because I'm not able to communicate properly with my wife, or it's at work stress because I'm not able to communicate properly with my team, if I can learn to get better at that, then all of a sudden I'm going to have more capacity, because I'm going to have more relational sort of influence and be able to kind of work with the people that are in my life and be able to move forward to what God's calling me to, but because of the skills that I can learn through a book like this. So it's these tiny steps. And, you know, if you're sitting there and you're saying to yourself, you know what, I don't have this deep driving desire to learn, especially not really interested in learning how to communicate with people better, you know, I would challenge you on that, because I think that God wants to do something incredible through you. I know that he does, and he's going to need other people in our lives that are going to be able to be there to support us. So, you know, when we're looking at goal setting, you know, it's identifying, it's driving it back to what are the simple little things that I can do on a daily basis. So, you know, having a book like this in your library, having books in your library that you can pick up and read 5 to 10 minutes a day. I mean, that's a simple, tiny step that anybody can do that will radically change your life by changing the inputs, what you're learning, shifting your perspective. And when we learn and grow, we're pointing people back to Jesus, because now we're that light. Now we're moving, and God's purpose is moving in our life, and people see that and they want to be a part of it, and they want to know what's going on in your life, so you can share with them, and you get opportunities to share with them, because God wants to do incredible things in and through you, and he wants to do incredible things in and through the people you know. So we have that responsibility to be a light, the responsibility to continue to learn and to grow. So I look forward to diving into some more concepts next week. I hope you have an absolutely awesome rest of your day. Have a blessed week. We will chat with you next week.